Okay, good morning. So in last class, we already discussed magnetic media, twisted pair and coaxial cable. Okay. So today we'll discuss in detail about your fiber optic. Fiber optics. So today we'll discuss in detail about your fiber optics. So whether the PPT is visible or not. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So today we'll discuss in detail about fiber optics. Okay. So already in last class we have already discussed about magnetic media, twisted pair and coaxial cable. So so if you compare the bandwidth associated with your coaxial cable as your twisted pair, the bandwidth of your coaxial cable is more as compared to your twisted pair. Okay. So today we'll discuss in detail about your fiber optics. Okay. So and write down fiber optics. This is a type of your guided transmission media, that is your fiber optics. So many people in the computer industry take different pride in how fast computer technology is improving. Okay, so in last 20 years, so if you compare, computing speed has increased by a factor of 20 for each decade. So if you compare in 1981, so IBM PC ran at a speed of your 4.77 megahertz, whereas in 2001 the speed was 2 gigahertz. So if you compare, so it is approximately increased by a large amount. Okay, so in the same period, wide area data communication went from 56 kbps to uh, 1 gbps. Okay, in modern optical communication, and if you compare the speed, okay, it is increased, okay, more than a factor of 125 per decade. Okay, 125 per decade if you compare. So initially its speed was when ARPANET was developed, it is in terms of your kbps in 1981, and its speed was 56 kbps. But in modern optical communication, okay, it is the speed around 1 gbps. Okay, so if you compare, okay, so it is a huge increase from that is 56 kbps to 1 gbps, and you can write a gain of more than a factor of 125 per decade. Okay, so if you compare, so the speed increase by a factor of 125. Okay, 125 times increase in the speed. Okay, or data rate. Okay, increase by a factor of 100. The power 1. Okay, so error means is simply converted to 1, and 1 is converted to 0. That is your error. If you are sending from the sending end 0, at the receiving end if you are receiving 1, okay, so there is one error. And due to the introduction of your optical network, okay, so the error approximately reduced to 0. Okay, so this is one of the advantage associated with your fiber optics. Okay, and semiconductors are close to their physical limit. Okay, semiconductors are close to their physical limit in their speed. That is, whenever we are transmitting, okay, one signal from one end to another end. Okay, its physical limit means it's the electron or molecules travel at your light velocity, or simply they reach your ideal characteristics. So you can say semiconductor are close to their physical limit. Okay, and in contrast, with current fiber technology, the achievable bandwidth is certainly in excess of 50,000 Gbps, or in terms of your, that is 50 terabps. Okay, so simply write down. So with current fiber technology, so the achievable bandwidth is around 50,000 Gbps or 50 terabits per second. Okay, so this is one important thing. Write down in, with current fiber technology, the achievable bandwidth is certainly in excess of 50,000 Gbps. Okay, Gbps to 50, or this is same as your 50 terabits per second. But the problem is the current practical signaling limit of about 10 Gbps is due to our inability to convert between electrical and optical signals any faster. Okay, so but the problem is, though the fiber technology exists, okay, which can uh, accommodate 50,000 Gbps due to its large bandwidth. Okay, but we are unable to convert, okay, any signal to a such a high speed. Okay, to a high speed, or we are unable to convert this electrical signal to optical signal, that is the in the form of your light pulse. Okay, we are unable to convert any electrical signal to such light pulse, or you can say optical signal, okay, which can accommodate this speed. Okay, that is the design point of view. We are unable to convert this electrical signal to optical signal of such high speed. Okay, so but although in laboratory, so we can at most nowadays we can accommodate up to 10 Gbps. Okay, 10 Gbps, though this fiber technology can accommodate 50,000 Gbps, but due to our design issue, we cannot design a system, okay, so which can accommodate more than 10 Gbps. Okay, so though in laboratory, so some design exists, or some setup exists, okay, which can accommodate up to 100 Gbps, 100 Gbps, or you can say, so nowadays the fiber technology can accommodate a large bandwidth, or you can say 50,000 Gbps. Okay, so that we can transmit our signal at a very high speed. Okay, you can compare with speed, so we can accommodate up to this speed. Okay, so write down, in contrast with the current fiber technology can accommodate, simply write down 50,000 Gbps. Okay, right? So it's a large bandwidth if you compare. Okay, as compared to your any other guided transmission media, as compared to your any other guided transmission media. Okay, so the next is an optical transmission. Then we will discuss in detail about your what is your fiber optics and how the transmission generally takes place in case of your fiber optics. Okay, so write down, an optical transmission system has three components. Write down in copy. So an optical transmission system has three main components or key components. Number one is the light source. The light source. Number two is your transmission medium. Number one is your light source. Number two is your transmission medium, and number three is your the detector. Okay, so the an optical transmission system basically consists of three components. That is, number one is your the light source. Okay, number two is your the transmission medium, and the number three is your detector. Okay, number three is your detector. So as the any signal normally transmitted in optical fiber in the form of your light. Okay, that's why first at the transmitting end you have to convert this any electrical pulse. Okay, electrical pulse, or you can convert any binary bits in the form of your electrical pulse, light pulse. then you have to transmit this light pulse through this medium, transmission medium, or you can say in this case, transmission medium is your fiber optic. Okay, transmission medium is your fiber optic or optical fiber. Okay, and the detector means at the receiving end, it detects the light pulse, and using a photo detector like this, then it convert this light pulse again back to its electrical signal, again back to its electrical pulse or signal. Okay, so it consists of three components. Number one is the light source, number two is your the transmission medium, and number three is your detector. And conventionally, a pulse of light. Okay, so the pulse of light, or simply you can say if the light exists in the transmission medium for certain duration, then it represents your light. Okay, and in the absence of light, okay, if there is no light present for a certain duration, it indicates your zero bit. Okay, it indicates a zero bit. The transmission medium, okay, the transmission medium. So in this case, the transmission medium is an ultra thin fiber of glass. Okay, ultra thin fiber of glass. Simply write down a pulse. Okay, a pulse of light indicates a zero, and absence of light indicates a zero bit. Okay, and the transmission medium in this case is your ultra thin fiber of glass. Okay, through which you have to transmit the light pulse or light signal from your one point, from the sending end to the receiving end. Okay, and the detector generally generates an electrical pulse. The detector at the receiving end, the detector generates an electrical pulse when light fall on it. Okay, when light fall in it. So at the receiving end, so you are receiving the original signal or information in the form of your light pulse. Okay, and again you have to convert this light pulse in the form of your electrical signal. So normally one detector which is used. Okay, when a light fall on it, it generates a electrical pulse. Okay, at the receiving end, so a detector is needed. Okay, detector is required to convert this light pulse to electrical pulse. Okay, the detector generates an electrical pulse when light falls on it. Okay, and if you combine all these, how the transmission takes place or how the communication takes place in case of your fiber optic communication. So you can say by attaching a light source to one end of the of an optical fiber and a detector to the other, we have a unidirectional data transmission system that accepts an electrical signal, convert and transmit it by light pulses, and then reconverts the output to an electrical signal at the receiving end. Okay, so if you combine, so how the communication generally takes place in case of your fiber optic communication. So in case of your fiber optic communication, basically the your at the transmitting end, your original information or your original signal or original data is exist. Okay, so now you have to convert this original data, so which is in the form of your electrical pulse to your light pulse. Okay, and you have to, or you can say light signal, which consists of suppose some certain duration. Okay, if the light exists for certain duration, so it is known as suppose one. If the light doesn't present for certain duration, it is depends your zero. So now you have to transmit this light pulse from the transmitting end to the receiving end through the help of your ultra thin fiber of glass, and this is known as your fiber optic at the receiving end. So the received signal is your light signal or light pulse, and by the help of your detector you have to reconvert the output to an electrical signal at the receiving end. Okay, so these are the basic principles of operation associated with your fiber optic communication. Okay, fiber optic communication. So the so now you can check this diagram. Okay, so this diagram basically gives three example of a light. Okay, so whenever you are passing or a light through any fiber or your wire or through glass. okay, how the communication normally takes place, okay, from one end of the fiber to another end of the fiber, okay. So the transmission system would leak light and be useless in practice, except for an interesting principle of physics, okay. So you can check, so in this diagram, so you can check, so in first diagram. So in first diagram, you can check the light incident on this air or silica boundary. Okay, so you can say this is your fiber optic at different angle, at different angle. Okay, at different angle. So you can check. So when the angle is equal to let A1 or alpha 1, okay, so this uh, light ray, okay, a light ray which incident on this boundary simply refracted, okay, simply refracted, okay, simply reflected. But when you are increasing this incident angle, so you can say suppose alpha 2, okay, it is also refracted, okay, it is also refracted, okay. So as you go on increasing this incident angle, so at a certain point you can say this is the in third diagram. So when the incident angle suppose equal to a3, okay, or alpha 3, okay, which is more than your alpha 1 and alpha 2, okay, the light is not refracted, okay. The light is in the first two cases, this light is simply reflected, but in third cases the light is not reflected, but simply it is reflected back, okay, it is reflected back, okay. You can see it is simply reflected back. Simply you can draw the diagram, okay, you can draw this diagram, okay. So when this angle is more than a certain threshold value, okay, those the light ray doesn't refracted back, refracted in the boundary, okay, refracted in the boundary, okay, refracted in the boundary, and it is reflected back. You can check this diagram, so you can draw this diagram, okay, for different angle for alpha 1, alpha 2, and alpha 3, okay. So the first example, three example of a light ray from the inside a silica fiber, okay, impinging on the air or silica boundary at different angle, okay, different angle. And in the second diagram you can see this light trapped by total internal reflection, okay. So simply remember, when light, okay, the incident angle, okay, is more than a certain threshold value, okay, so refraction doesn't take place, okay, simply all the uh, uh, light, okay, simply reflected back, okay, and it is simply trapped by total internal reflection, and it is light trapped by total internal reflection, okay, trapped by internal reflection. Okay, so you can draw this diagram. So it consists of three different incident angle. Okay, so when the angle is above a certain threshold value, okay, so the light, okay, trapped by total internal reflection, you can see from the second diagram. Okay, so this transmission system would leak light and be useless in practice, except for an interesting principle of physics. What is the interesting principle of physics? That if the incident angle is more than certain value, it is reflected back. Otherwise, it is reflected. Okay, refracted. Okay, so when light rays passes from one medium to another, this is the principle of physics, okay, from one medium to another. For example, from fused silica to air, the ray is refracted, okay, bent at the silica or air boundary as shown in this figure, just we have already discussed, okay, it is refracted. But here we see a light ray incident on the boundary at an angle A1, emerging at angle B1. So we can B1, okay, like this. The amount of refraction, just we have already discussed, the amount of refraction depends upon the properties of the two media. Okay, simply write down. So this is very important. So the amount of refraction depends on the properties of the two media. So in particular, their indices of properties of the two media, in particular, their indices of refraction. Okay, there is their indices of refraction. So for angle of incident, so this is all important for angle of incidence. For angle of incidence, for angle of, so it depends upon two factors. Number one is your indices of refraction, indices of your refraction. Number two is your angle of incidence. Okay, it depends upon two factors. Number one is your indices of your refraction, that is one of the properties associated with your glass or any other material. Okay, number two is your angle of incidence. Okay, it depends upon two factors. Number one is your incidence of your indices of refraction. Number two, your incidence angle. Okay, for angle of incidence above a certain critical value, so write down for angles of incidence above a certain critical value, the light is refracted back. Okay, refracted back into the silica, and none of it escapes. Okay, none of it escapes into the air. So that is the case. Okay, in the third cases. Okay, this is the case you can check. This is case of the third case. So for angle of incidence above a certain critical value, the light is reflected back into the silica and none of its escapes into the air. Okay, so thus a light ray incident, simply write down. So thus a light ray incident at or above the critical angle is trapped. Okay, is trapped inside the fiber, is trapped inside the fiber. Thus, so this is one of the condition. Okay, so it depends upon two factor. Number one is your indices of your refraction. It is one of the properties. Okay, physical properties of any material. Number two is your angle of your incidence, angle of incidence. Okay, so thus a light ray incident at or above the critical angle is trapped inside the fiber. Okay, is the critical angle is trapped inside the fiber as shown in the second figure. Okay, trapped inside the fiber and can be propagate for many kilometers and can be propagate for many kilometers without with virtually no loss. Okay, or can say can propagate for many kilometers with minimum loss. Okay, and can propagate for many kilometers and can propagate for many kilometers with virtually no loss. With virtually no loss. Okay, with virtually no loss. Okay, so for optical fiber, okay, or fiber optic communication. So as you discuss, you need three things. Number one, three components. Number one is your light source. Number two is your transmission medium, and number two is your the detector. Okay, and the condition is whenever you transmit any light, okay, whenever you have to incident that light in the fiber at a certain angle, okay, or angle at a particular angle above that or critical value. Okay, so if it satisfies this condition, okay, that is your angle criteria, the light is reflected back into the silica, okay, and not it escapes into the air and can be propagated for many kilometers, okay, by the help of your reflection, okay, from the boundary, okay, for many kilometers with virtually no loss, with virtually no loss. Okay, so this is the principle. Okay, so the second picture shows only the one trapped ray. Okay, but since in this diagram, so you can check it is only one ray, okay, or one light source is reflected back. Okay, so similarly you can think, okay, so if you reflect more than one light source, okay, or you can transmit many different light source, okay, at different angle. So if you reflect different light at different angle, okay, or ray of light at different angle, so you can say with the same fiber you can transmit more than one signal. You can transmit more than one signal. Suppose in this case you are transmitting one signal through the help of your light, okay, from one end to another end. Okay, suppose the incident angle suppose is equal to 45 degree. Okay, so if the threshold value let is equal to 45 degree, so if the incident angle let is equal to another incident angle for another signal is your let 60 degree. Okay, so this is your another different signal. Okay, so similarly you can think. So if you depending upon the number of signal, you can generate a different incident angle. Okay, which satisfy this angle criteria, and you can transmit more than one signal. Okay, from one end of the fiber, optical fiber, to another end of the fiber. Okay, right. So if you transmit, okay, so more than one signal from your one end of the fiber to another end. Okay, this type of fiber generally known as your multi-mode fiber. This is known as your multi-mode fiber. Okay, multi-mode fiber. Okay, simply remember what is a multi-mode fiber. Each ray is said to have different mode. Okay, so a fiber having this property is called a multi-mode fiber. And what is the use of this multi-mode fiber? So in case of your multi-mode fiber, more than one signal can be transmitted from one end to the another end. Okay, one end of the fiber to another end. Okay, so shows one trapped wave, but since any light ray incident on the boundary above the critical angle will be reflected internally, so many different rays will be bouncing around at different angles. So if different ray, okay, will bounce around the at different angle, so you can say each ray associated with your one signal, and this type of your fiber, okay, which able to transmit more than one ray. Okay, this type of your fiber is known as your multi-mode fiber. This type of your fiber is generally known as your multi-mode fiber. Okay, so you can finally write down each ray is said to have a different mode. So a fiber having this property is called multi-mode fiber. Multi-mode fiber. Multi-mode fiber means, so if you are interested to send more than one signal through the help of a common fiber, so you have to use a multi-mode fiber. Okay. So however, if the fiber diameter is reduced, okay, to a few wavelength of light, okay, to a few wavelength of light, so the fiber act like a waveguide, and the light can propagate only in a straight line without bouncing. So yielding and single mode fiber. Okay, single mode fiber. Okay, so what is the difference between your multi-mode fiber and single mode fiber? So if you compare, the diameter of your single mode fiber is very less as compared to your multi-mode fiber. And number two, if you compare the difference, so in case of your multi-mode fiber, you can transmit more than one light ray, okay, or ray, okay. But in case of your single mode fiber, you can transmit only one ray of light, okay, right. So this is the difference between your multi-mode fiber and single mode fiber. Okay, the single mode fiber having a very less diameter as compared to your multi-mode fiber, but this multi-mode fiber normally used, okay, or sorry, single mode fiber normally used to transmit only one signal. Okay, so single mode fibers are more expensive, but are widely used for longer distances. Okay, single mode fiber are more expensive, but are widely used for longer distances. What are widely used for longer distances? Okay, so currently available single mode fiber can transmit data at 50 Gbps for 100 kilometer without any amplification. So this is important. Currently available single mode fibers. Okay, currently available single mode fibers can transmit data at 50 Gbps at 50 Gbps for 100 kilometers without any amplification. So even higher data rate have been achieved in the laboratory for certain distance, but practically achievable rate is 50 Gbps for your single mode fiber. Okay, and which can transmit 100 kilometers without any amplification. Okay, so simply remember this is the difference between your multi-mode fiber. So through your multi-mode fiber, we can transmit more than one light ray, or you can say more than one signal. Okay, but in case of your single mode fiber, which having very reduced your diameter, and through your single mode fiber, we can transmit only one signal or one light ray. Okay, and it is very expensive, though it is expensive, but are widely used for longer distance transmission. For longer distance transmission, so you must have check your fiber optics, okay, which is um, uh, put in underground. Okay, well, you must have checked it is a set of your bunch of your hundred or thousand number of your optical fiber. Okay, and each fiber associated with a single mode type. Okay, it is each fiber associated with a single mode type. Okay, right. So currently available single mode fiber can transmit data at 50 Gbps for 100 kilometers without any amplification. Okay, even higher data rate have been achieved in the laboratory for shorter distances. Okay, so this is the difference between your multi-mode and single mode, and what is the condition one must be used. Okay, to for your so that the fiber communication can be established. That means this incident angle must have some more than or equal to critical value. Okay, critical value. So if this condition is satisfied, this light ray can reflected back. Okay, and or you can say radiate inside the boundary. Okay, and you can transmit from your one end to another end. Okay, next one, write down this transmission. Next, write down the transmission light, transmission of light through fiber. Okay, transmission of light through fiber. Next, write down transmission of light through fiber. Transmission of light, transmission of light, light, transmission of light through fiber. Normally, optical fiber of fiber is made and inexpensive raw material available in unlimited amount. Okay, unlimited amount. Okay, so we know optical fibers are made of glass. Okay, so the attenuation of light, okay, through glass. So whenever you transmit light from one end to another end, okay, so during transmission, some attenuation also takes place. Okay, attenuation also takes place, and the attenuation of light through glass depends on the wavelength of the light. Okay, depends on the wavelength of the light. So how many attenuation takes place, okay, during transmission? It depends on the wavelength of the light, as well as on the some physical properties of the glass, as well as on some physical properties of the glass. Okay, as well as on some physical properties of the glass. Okay, so in fiber optic communication or transmission, generally attenuation measure. Okay, in terms of your attenuation in decibel is equal to 10 log transmitted power divided by the received power. Okay, transmitted power divided by the received power. Transmitted power divided by the received power. Okay, transmitted power divided by the received power. Okay, so attenuation normally takes place. Okay, so if the attenuation is less, so if the attenuation is less, that means there is a attenuation is less means loss is less. Okay, or you can say the difference between your transmitted power and received power is also less. Okay, so suppose there is no loss. Okay, suppose during your transmission, suppose there is no loss, that means the transmitted power is exactly, suppose this is a good quality of fiber. Okay, and the transmitted, whatever the power transmitted from the transmitting end is exactly same as, okay, the received power. Okay, so in this case transmitted power is equal to received power. So what is the attenuation in this case? So 10 log 10, 10 by 10 equal to 1, and log 1 base 10 is equal to 0. Okay, so you can say So 10 into 0 is equal to 0. That means attenuation in decibel is equal to 0. Attenuation in decibel is equal to 0. Okay. So if you say if it is a good quality fiber, okay, optical fiber, so attenuation is less. Okay, attenuation is less. Okay. So if the transmitted power is exactly same as your received power, so attenuation is equal to simply 0 dB. Suppose the transmitted power is equal to 100 watt and the received power is suppose is equal to 10 watt, suppose. Okay. So the attenuation in decibel is equal to simply 10 log 10 10, so that is equal to 1, so 10 into 1 is equal to 10 dB. Okay, so attenuation in decibel is equal to 10 dB. Okay, so in the during your fiber optic transmission or communication, if the loss is less means, so the attenuation in decibel is also less. Okay, or you can say the transmitted power is exactly same as your received power. Okay, right. So this is the way to measure attenuation in decibel. That is the mathematical expression 10 log transmitted power divided by received power with base 10. Okay, simply remember attenuation in decibel. This is one of the important factor associated with your fiber optics. So this is the expression. Simply write down and copy. Next, write down attenuation of light through fiber in infrared region. Okay, infrared region. So attenuation of light through fiber in infrared region. In infrared region, so all the lights which comes under your infrared region. Okay, so normally the infrared region having the light having wavelength. Okay, having wavelength that is equal to around zero point 0.8 to 1.6 microns. Okay, 0.8 to 1.6 microns. So you can draw the diagram approximately. Draw the diagram. So this infrared region, light having wavelength, which is normally used in fiber optic communication, because always you need a light source. Light source are transmitting it, okay, to transmit the signal. Okay, and the light source used during your fiber optic communication comes under your infrared region. Okay, comes under your infrared region. Okay, and whose wavelength normally from your zero point 0.8 micron to one around 1.6 micron, 1.6 micron. Okay, and 1.1 micron. Okay, 1 micron, simply write down 1 micron is equal to 1 micron is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Okay, 1 micron is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Okay, 1 micron is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meters. Okay, right. So all the infrared light, okay, comes under your this wavelength. Okay, that is from your zero point 0.8 micron to around 1.6 micron. Okay, and this light, okay, normally used, which comes under your infrared region, normally used for your optical communication. Okay, optical communication. So you can see, so during this when the light wavelength comes under different categories, you can see. Okay, so the attenuation level, okay, in first case, okay, attenuation level, okay, with mid frequency, mid wavelength, that is equal to 0.85, okay, microns. Okay, so that is equal to band, and his mid frequency is equal to 1.3 micron, and in mid frequency is around 1.55 microns. Okay, so you can check. So what is the attenuation in dB? Okay, attenuation in dB in case of your first band, that is around zero point 0.8 dB, okay, per kilometer, zero point 0.8 dB per kilometer. So if you are using a light, okay, whose wavelength comes under your 1.3 micron, okay, so in this case, this attenuation is very less. That means it is fiber quality is very good. Okay, so what is this attenuation? The attenuation is around zero point 0.2 dB per kilometer, and in third band, okay, this is approximately same. That is also around zero point 0.2 dB per kilometer. Okay, zero point 0.2 kilometer. Okay, so you can write down visible lights. Visible light has slightly shorter wavelength. So write down visible light has slightly shorter wavelength from zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.7 microns. Okay, zero point 0.7 to zero point 0.7 microns. Okay, 0.4 to zero point 0.7 microns. Okay, and three wavelength band, just we have discussed three wavelength band. Okay, simply write down three wavelength band are used for optical communication. Three wavelength bands are used for optical communication. They are centered at 0.85. This is the first case, 0.85. Next is your 1.3 micron. Next one is your 1.55. 0.85, then 1.3 and 1.55 microns respectively. Okay, 1.55 respectively. Okay, so the last two, okay, that is 1.3 micron and 1.55, okay, have to have good attenuation property. That means less than 5% loss per kilometer, less than 5%. So this is the case, because in this case attenuation is in dB is very less. Okay, right? So in the last two have good attenuation property, that is less than 5% loss per kilometer, less than 5% loss per kilometer. Okay, less than 5% loss per kilometer. But the first one, that is 0.85, the 0.85 micron band has higher attenuation, has higher attenuation. Okay, that means loss is more. But at that wavelength, the laser and electronic can be made from same material. Okay, but at that wavelength, so if you use the laser and the electronic can made from the same material. Okay, same material, that is your gallium arsenide. Okay, can be made from same material. Okay, and all these band, okay, so all these band in terms of, you can say, bandwidth. Okay, all these bands are 25,000 to 30,000 gigahertz wide. Okay, so you can say the bandwidth associated with this region. Okay, so having you can accommodate the bandwidth up to 25,000 to 30,000 gigahertz. Okay, 25,000 to 30,000 gigahertz. Okay, so this band can accommodate, okay, so accommodate a fiber optic having bandwidth, okay, 25,000 to 30,000 gigahertz wide. Okay, 25,000 to 30,000 wide. Okay, and the next item, light pulses send down a fiber spread out in length as they propagate. Okay, as they propagate, spread. So if you suppose send any pulse, okay, of duration, suppose 0.01 millisecond, okay, so during transmission, so the duration, that is your 0.01 second millisecond pulse, okay, may be spread, that is duration may be more than 0.01 millisecond. Okay, so the light pulse send down a fiber spread out in length as they propagate, and this spreading is called, simply write down, chromatic dispersion. Okay, the spreading of light when it passes through a fiber, okay, is known as your chromatic dispersion. This is important. Chromatic distortion. Chromatic dispersion. Okay, and the amount of it is wavelength dependent. One way to keep this spread out pulses from overlapping, because if you send suppose 10 different pulses, so if they spread, okay, if during transmission they may overlap, there is a chance that they may overlap, okay, with each other. Okay, so if they overlap with each other, so distortion takes place. So one way to keep these spread out pulses from overlapping is to increase the distance. Okay, so if you increase the distance between two pulses, okay, so you can minimize this overlapping. Okay, but this can be done only by reducing the signaling rate. Okay, so that means if you take more time for each pulse, so you can accommodate less number of bits for a time frame, or you can say you are reducing the signaling rate. You are reducing the signaling rate. Okay, you are reducing the signaling rate. Okay, But to avoid this overlapping, fortunately, it has been discovered that by making the pulses a special shape related to the reciprocal of the hyperbolic cosine. So, if the shape, okay, is nature of your hyperbolic cosine, nearly all the dispersion effect, okay, this that is your chromatic dispersion, okay, dispersion effect cancel out, and it is possible to send pulses for thousands of kilometers without appropriate safe distortion, without appropriate applicable safe distortion. Okay, so if the shape of the pulse, okay, the nature of your reciprocal of your hyperbolic cosine, okay, so it can be transmitted, okay, so to any distance, okay, without any possibly loss, okay, due to this overlapping, okay. And these pulses, okay, which is a hyperbolic cosine nature, okay, generally known as your solitons, okay, known as your solitons, and the shape of these solitons which normally used in your fiber optic communication are of shape of your hyperbolic cosine, okay, are of nature of your hyperbolic cosine, okay. So a considerable amount of research is going on to take solitons out of the lab into the field, okay. Still research is going on how to implement these solitons or your reciprocal of the sine wave cosine nature of your pulse, okay, to avoid this overlapping as well as to avoid this type of your distortion, okay, avoid to distortion, okay. So these are the some of the basics of your fiber optic communication. So in next class, okay, so we'll study in detail about your construction of this fiber optic as well as this fiber optics network, okay. So in next class we'll discuss. So all of you please uh, check your chat box, okay. So to I'll conduct one quiz test, so please check the link provided in your chat box. Wait. It is related to your last class. Please so please go through your chat box and appear the quiz test. And, and simultaneously also you respond your roll call. Abhijit Raut,
Present, sir.
Ankit Das,
Present, sir.
Simon Pradhan, Parthasarathi Malik,
Present, sir.
Tanya Jha,
Present, sir.
Ashutosh Mishra, Ashutosh Mishra, Nikhil Kumar, Nikhil Kumar, Rahul Senapati,
Yes, sir. Present.
Ansuman Rai,
Present, sir.
Chandrakant Gupta, Chandrakant Gupta, absent. Ashutosh Raj, Atish Raj,
Sir Ashutosh Mishra. Sir Ashutosh. My mic was not working. Sir Ashutosh Mishra. Sir 140.
yeah. Atish Raj,
Sir Ashutosh Mishra.
wait. Atish Raj, Jyotish Naik,
Present, sir. Jyotish Naik, present, sir.
yes. Pratyush Patel,
Present, sir.
Anup Kumar Mukherjee, Anup Kumar Mukherjee, Hariom Kumar,
Yes, sir.
Sandeep Mishra,
Present, sir.
Tribikam Patnaik,
Present, sir.
Smriti Ranjan Biswal, स्मृति रंजन बिस्वाल, राजीव दुबे,
Present, sir.
सिकृत मोदक,
Present, sir.
संबित कुमार साहू,
Present, sir.
कृष्ण मुरारी शर्मा, रेहन अहमद खान, दिव्य प्रकाश नायक, काकन चटराज,
Present, sir.
आशुतोष सिन्हा,
Present, sir.
देवज्योति दास,
Present, sir.
शिखर स्वरूप,
Present, sir. Present.
सौम्या महापात्र,
Present, sir.
शीर्षक सामंतराय, अनन्या लेंका,
Present, sir.
श्रुति नम्र महापात्र,
Present, sir.
खुशी,
Present, sir.
निया रंजन पलई,
Present, sir.
शिबलू दास,
Present, sir.
निकिता रोजालिन साहू,
Present, sir.
कृष्णा सामल,
Present, sir.
अभिशेखर,
Present, sir.
कहीप मोहम्मदी, अंजलि गौरव,
Present, sir.
प्रियव्रत दास,
Present, sir.
दिव्य दर्शन,
Present, sir.
अलीशा पटनायक, आदित्य, दीक्षा कुमारी,
Present, sir.
अमृत कौर,
Present, sir.
राजेश कुमार पाढ़ी, ओके, सत्यनारायण सिंह,
Present, sir.
प्रज्वल कुमार,
Yes, sir. Present.
सर स्मृति रंजन बिस्वाल प्रेजेंट सर।
रूपम कुमार मेहर, Okay, those who have already completed their quiz, they may leave and join your next class.
Sir, Ashutosh Mishra.
हो जाओ।
सर स्मृति रंजन बिस्वाल
One-
सर।
Ashutosh Mishra absent.
Sir, Ashutosh Mishra 140.
Go. Those who have not responded in time, simply they are absent.
Sir, I have responded in the chat box. You can see.
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay.
सर स्मृति रंजन बिस्वाल प्रेजेंट सर।
हो जाओ।
सर 2276।
Sir, more पकेले. Ashutosh Mishra.
हाँ हो जा।
Sir, Tanya Jha पर है actually. 140. Fast काढू थी.
Go.
तर चेक कर दले आशुतोष मिश्रा.
सर स्मृति रंजन बिस्वाल सर।
कहीं तो ठीक टाइम रे कहीं पकोन।
सर 2276 सर।
सर पीएफ 10 प्रेजेंट।
थैंक यू सर. सर आशुतोष मिश्रा का
हाँ पढ़ सी जा।
थैंक यू सर.